What's up everyone, it's Nikita, an advocate for the I Am Resilient movement, and I'm here to talk to you about the 3 Gunas. The Gunas are the qualities, and the qualities make up who we are. They also make up things in nature. So when we can refer to nature and refer to how it relates to us, we can better understand it. This happens a lot of the time with poets. When they go out in nature, they get inspired and they write a poem about a tree or a leaf and how it relates to human beings. So we are nature. All of the beings are connected and we are all reacting to our environments and what we put in our body. As human beings, we have a prefrontal cortex and we get to consciously choose. We can override the innate instincts and choose what we want for ourselves. And this is so beautiful, but often if we let other people choose for us, we not only override our innate instincts, but our own ability to make a decision that will be best for us long term. And other people's opinions are very loud and people are very willing to market themselves and hustle their friends. And so I encourage you, I know I have some products for sale online, but I encourage you to cultivate your own inner knowing of who you are and when you're off balance and how you can get back to balance rather than relying on the external direction of somebody who may or may not be reputable or may not have your best interest in mind. And even if they do have your best interest in mind, they may or may not know things about you that are important in those decisions. So back to the Gunas. The Gunas are the 3 qualities, and the qualities make up who we are and how we are showing up in this world. And we are constantly in a state of flux. So we tend to know who we are. We tend to have a firm understanding of what makes us feel good, but often life throws situations at us and we kind of fall off or we become imbalanced. So I will go over what those 3 are. The first one is tamas. So it can also be called tamasic if you are feeling tamasic. Tamas is the state of decay. It is sort of that death energy. It's dark. I would refer to like a wilting green vegetable. If you have greens in your fridge that you didn't eat quick enough, they become tamasic very quickly. Tamas in a human being may look like depression, grief, sadness, boredom, hopelessness, laziness even, fatigue, moving really slow, maybe complaining, what else? Basically the absence of motivation, that kind of apathetic, way of being. So tamasic, tamas, and it can be referred to sort of decay. I think of the fall as a sort of tamasic season. Of course, it's not tamasic really, but there's a lot of tamas happening. There's the leaves falling on the ground, they're beginning to decay. The season is turning from lightness to dark, and it is feeling kind of tamasic. We start to sleep more. We might feel a little bit more lazy. All of those things. So tamas is, none of these gunas are good or bad. I just want you to know that. So if you're feeling one or the other, don't label it good or bad. The idea is just to feel optimal and be balanced. Feel optimal and be balanced. This keeps you resilient. The second one is rajas. So I want to say that rajas is the predominantly honored way of being in our modern Western culture. So rajas is greed and attachment. Rajas is desiring to buy that fancy new car. Rajas is motivation. Rajas is action, maybe going on a run every single day and training for a marathon. That's rajas or rajasic. So if it becomes too imbalanced, it can look like anger or chaos, confusion, stress. Maybe we're working our way up in a Fortune 500 company and we really want to get to the top, and we're hustling, working all hours of the day. Well, we will be practicing these rajasic ways of being, which will make us more rajasic. We won't feel so lazy when we're pressed with those deadlines that we really care about. We will feel motivated. We will feel stressed, potentially. And Rajas is the energy behind a lot of things that get done. So Rajasic energy helps you to accomplish your goals. It helps you to get up in the morning. Things that make Rajas worse are caffeine. You can think of caffeine giving you a lot of energy, maybe stimulants. Really spicy foods can cause that internal fire. And yes, Rajas is something that is really, I want to say glamorized. And historically, it wasn't. In these ancient yogic textbooks, Rajasic is not as sought after as the next guna I'm about to tell you about. So Rajasic is, yes, one way to get through life. You can hustle and be Rajasic. Just know that Rajasic characteristics are also stress, chaos. So sometimes I think of Rajas and Tamas as sides of the nervous system. Of course, this isn't necessarily the case. But if we were to think of the parasympathetic nervous system, that rest and digest phase, we can be there, but we can't be there forever. We need a little bit of stress in our lives to become resilient, to be able to go back and forth. And it is positive to have some stress. So similarly, Rajas is positive. We need stress to get things done in our lives. We need motivation, that passion, that fire is very powerful. But if we have too much of it, we can become kind of neurotic. Like maybe we become a workaholic, or maybe we become obsessed with meeting our sales deadlines. And then our relationships start to fall apart and other things in our lives start to sort of fizzle. So both sides, and I would say that was more like the stress state of the nervous system, the sympathetic nervous state. So balance is very important. The next guna I am about to tell you about is pure magic. So this is called Satva. You might have heard somebody say the word Sattvic. There are some people who have Instagram handles as Sattvic because it is very sought after. Sattva is embodiment. It is balance, equanimity, harmony, joy. Sattva is gratitude. So one way to practice cultivating more sattva is gratitude journaling. Also yoga, the yogic practices increase sattva. So the idea as a yogi is to obtain a sattvic way of being, way of living, and attain enlightenment. So sattva is caring, it's compassion, it's self-love and love for everyone around you. It's openness, it's empathy, it's being able to be present and glow in who you are. Sattva is the ultimate way of being, it's balance. So those are the three gunas. Just know that if you're feeling one or the other at certain times, that's totally normal. And health and well-being is always something to work toward. So if we were just, perfect all the time, we wouldn't be human beings. We might be robots. Or I'd say maybe robots are kind of rajasic. But just know that it's similarly with your yoga practice. Sometimes it feels like it goes really well and you feel great, and other times you're sort of dragging yourself through it. Just know that all of these ways of bringing awareness to who you are, awareness to how you're feeling, and awareness to where you want to be, can allow you the inspiration to find it and move forward. And knowing about rajas, tamas, and sattva and what increase it or decrease it can actually help you to obtain balance. So another thing that is really great for if you're feeling tamasic is to get up and have a shower. So tamas, that state of decay, that kind of dirty way of being, that down way of being, it really requires those self-care practices that we hear about so often, like showering and going out in nature and eating whole healthy foods. To increase sattva, you can eat whole foods like whole grains, fruits, vegetables, organic and local if you can, and picked right from the tree or vine, growing above ground. So the vegetables and fruit that are above ground are known as sattvic. Something that increases rajas is garlic and onions as well. So if you go to India and you don't like garlic and onions, you can ask for sattvic food and they will take out the garlic and onions. Everything is okay in moderation. Just notice if you're feeling really fiery, really rajasic, perhaps maybe a little less spicy food, a little less garlic and onions, maybe take a bath, go for a walk in nature. It all helps. So this is just another language for you to bring into your life to understand more about yourself so that you can be resilient. So thanks for listening.